Have you ever lost something other than a boyfriend or a girlfriend post a breakup? Money, a place to live, or even a friendship? Friendships. They're actually the trickiest of all. Because when the breakup happens, more often than not, our friends pick sides. Guys, it's also something which happened to Ruchika, who I met through Twitter. She tells me that in school she was dating a guy and they had a lot of friends that they would hang out with all the time. But when the breakup happened, she had to let go of a lot of friendships. But that is not what defines Ruchika. Ruchika is an amazing podcaster and she hosts the podcast Sanskari Sass, which, by the way, you should check out. And she has put all of this behind her. But she tells me that when this happened to her, it really, really broke her.
More than the breakup, actually, the collateral damage is what hurt me. So with my breakup with my first boyfriend back in school, we had pretty much the same friend circle. You know, everyone, all of my friends were his friends, and we all hung out together. And when we broke up, it kind of became like a rift. You know, half the group was trying to be neutral and half the group was choosing his side, and eventually I just had to remove myself from that friend circle because it was just getting too conflicted for me to hang out with them constantly, because I was the one who did the breaking up. So some of them kind of blamed me for breaking his heart and all of that. And I mean, in retrospect, obviously I see that they weren't really my true friends. So I now I don't see it as collateral damage anymore. It's like it's good riddance. But at that point, it was definitely really hard for me to sort of get rid of a lot of my friends.
Hey, Ruchika's friends who dumped her at a time when she was extremely vulnerable. Maybe you need to search how to be a better friend on WikiHow. But guys, other than friendships, we also see a lot of our favorite places get ruined. I mean, restaurants where we once ate together. All of this just becomes part of a collateral damage.
Collateral damage, casualty is something that wasn't supposed to happen, but it was inevitable. I think in the context of breakup, it would mean that when a relationship ends, there are other things that kind of end too. They also die a very painful death.
And guys, if you've ever broken up, I am 80% sure that you've had to deal with some kind of a collateral damage. Whether it was something funny like losing the boxers that you once shared together. It's also gross, by the way. Or it's a t-shirt that you shared together, because let's be frank, it's so much fun wearing your partner's t-shirts. Or it could also be something serious like money and even work opportunities. Which is why I thought that there is so much to talk about collateral damage, and that is why I made it into episode 7 of How I Dealt With It, a podcast about breakups. So guys, let's begin episode 7 with me, Divyani Ratanpal. Sudeep Nagarkar is an author who has written 10 best-selling novels on romance, guys. 10. I haven't written one, okay? Few things left unsaid. That's the Way We Met. It started with a friend request. Sorry You're Not My Type are just some of his most popular books. He is followed by lakhs of people on social media. But before all of this began, and before his words on romance sold 1 million copies, he too was struggling to cope with the collateral damage of his breakup.
Even when, if I have to tell you about my experience, I had a girlfriend during my college days, and we broke up because of some internal issues. And after that, I never felt like going again to the college. And that is why I had a couple of year drops in engineering because of that thing, because I never went to college.
Guys, Sudeep had to repeat years in college because he did not want to go back to the same place where he once shared good and bad memories with his ex. Guys, a lot of us, we avoid restaurants and even activities that remind us of our ex. And we end up making a lot of changes just to accommodate this difficult situation in our lives. And in my friend Vatsala's case, it involves making some urgent changes to her playlist and even her Friday plans.
I think the songs that you once enjoyed together, the long drives that you once enjoyed together, they're kind of taken away from you. I mean, you every time you listen to those same songs, the tracks that you played when you were, say, going around the streets of the when you were going around the roads of Delhi, exploring this place or that place, they kind of like taken away from you. Like I remember listening to a lot of chain smoking, like a chain smoker. Kya hai?
Chain smokers.
Chain. I remember listening to chain smokers. He introduced me to them, and I don't think I can listen to chain smokers again. Anyway, I don't regret it. They had terrible music, so didn't lose out on anything much. But yeah, that.
Yeah, I think songs just have such a vivid memory, and a lot of songs are ruined. You know, we end up losing half our playlist.
Like I remember, so mine was a long distance, so every time we'd come to Delhi and I would drive him, around the city, and I remember he would play this track, Ye Dilli Hai Mere Yaar, and I can't listen to that fucking song again. Like now, I loved that track. What a composition, everything, but he's ruined it forever. So we used to watch a lot of movies together, and I think since the breakup, I haven't seen much of films. I love watching movies, but there's, I mean, it's not that I don't watch movies alone, but I kind of have stopped keeping track of what's coming next, because when that person was in your life, you're like, hey, what do you want to watch this Friday? Which movie is coming up? And then you're always excited about the next release because, yeah, Friday, it becomes a thing. So I think it's been a while since I've watched movies also. So fucker has taken away that one thing I liked a lot.
It's funny how even though the emotions between two people have completely evaporated, the physical items that they both once shared still remains as sturdy and as tangible. And sometimes we can even make a power move with them. This is how Vishnu did it.
So basically what happened was someone I was dating, I had given her a lot of my clothes and some of my favorite t-shirts, some really, really cool ones. And so when we broke up very suddenly, she had all my clothes. So I told her, listen, I'm not going to come collect all my clothes, but you can just give it to your roommate who she didn't like much. So that was very satisfying for me because she had to see her roommate who she hated wear all the t-shirts that were mine for the next few months, and it was very, very, very satisfying.
Well, it worked out for Vishnu. But asking back for stuff, guys, it is a nightmare. And it is so awkward that some, like Cyrus, don't even bother too much with it.
There have been many instances that I've suffered collateral damage in relationships. Sometimes I tend to be very generous on my partner, and my generosity extends up to the limits that I end up giving a lot of money to them. So, and when the breakup, the whole phase that happens, it kind of feels very awkward to ask the person that, hello, excuse me, you owe me some money, can I have it back? And in that tension among the two, things just get lost, and you obviously do not want to go back into that ugly space.
Guys, talking of ugly spaces, I'm also reminded of this instance where a friend of mine called me in the middle of the night and told me that he had to move out of his house, his live-in with his girlfriend because she told him to just get out in the middle of the night and he had nowhere to go. And then we found him a place. When I asked Sudeep, who by the way is our celebrity guest for this episode, and I am not going to shy away from rubbing it in, when I asked him if any of his friends had been through something of a similar collateral damage, here is what he said.
You see, it's like, yeah, these things happen these days. Like, where we are into the days when there are living relationships happening, or probably even when you are in your college days where you share the room together, where you are on a rent or anywhere for that matter. So it's actually funny because if that happened with my friend also, and like late night he called me that this is the thing that has happened and I've been thrown out of the house. And the first thing what friends do is like probably they laugh. I started laughing on that particular situation, not able to understand.
Yeah.
Well, how should I react? Because I started laughing and he was like, "यार तू हंस रहा है इसके ऊपर मैं सच में बैग लेके बाहर खड़ा हुआ हूँ." And like that's the kind of thing that you are into. Yeah? It's like,
I think again you need to depend on absolutely. I think again you need to depend on your friends who will give you space to stay. You know,
that's the thing that makes love stories interesting, right? If you don't have such kind of experiences later on, when you actually move on and you think about those particular situations, you laugh on it. That how crazy I was.
so all of this is funny, and there are, like, for example, songs, and we talk about houses, etc. But then there are economic opportunities that one loses. For example, somebody was telling me that they were in the same industry, the comedy industry, and the other person that she was dating was a senior comedian, and then he tried to not get her opportunities, and he was telling his friends not to give her gigs because he had broken up with her. So how important do you think it is to let aside your ego and not ruin the career, or not ruin or deny the opportunities to your ex-partner? Like, it all comes down to ego. We are like, the person hurt us, so we will not let them succeed, or we will not let them have a good time. So is it possible, or how easy it is, or how difficult is it to let go of this ego and actually set aside the personal from the professional?
See, it's not that difficult. Like, if you see it in a very practical manner, it's not that difficult. At the end of the day, as I said, that it's your life. You need to understand that what are your priorities. Hurting someone, okay, fine. You have that kind of emotion of revenge. You are doing it. But then after a couple of months, when that thing you have actually done that thing, you'll feel somewhere guilty that what exactly I gained from that particular thing. I gained nothing. It's all about proving yourself that even after a bad relationship, you are into a very good situation and you have done well in your life. So that itself is a great message to probably give each and everyone out there.
And I know, guys, everyone takes their own time to heal from a breakup. But remember, if you mope around too much, you might just lose a really, really good catch. This is Amrita's collateral damage story.
You want to know what damage you faced from a breakup? Ask me. And there's one damage from a breakup that you can never undo, and that is the damage of the other guys you miss out on when you're wallowing in the misery of your breakup. I mean, I was broken up by my very sort of cool then boyfriend in college. And he was like, this cool drummer boy, and he dumped me outside a nightclub one night, and I couldn't believe it. He was talking to me casually, breaking up with me, chewing gum. When he left, I dug into that trash can. I went into the dustbin. I took out that piece of chewing gum that he had spat out into a piece of paper, and I ate it. That was how pathetic I was. And I went home for the holidays, and I was like this dead cat. Like, my sister had to drag me for a walk in the park like this carcass. And my dad was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'd be like tracing things in the dust. I'd just be this mess. But the worst part now, when I look back, is that I missed out on this other amazing guy who was really had the hots for me. That guy had the hots for me, and he was so amazing. And he asked me out for lunch one day when I was in the middle of my breakup kind of drama. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll go. And then I was, of course, cried for another hour. Then I showered, got ready, and I turned up 1 hour late to the date, which in Indian standard time is not much. But by British standard time, because that's where I was, it was the ultimate snub. And so that guy was like, he had the class and the cruelty to wait for me. And then when I arrived, he then said, "I have to go now." So that's when I realized again, you realize what you've lost when it's gone. I realized that I've lost a really good guy, another really cool man, because I was moping about the other guy.
So guys, by now I have been able to give you a nuanced perspective of all the things, the different ways in which collateral damage can affect you. But does that mean that you can no longer emerge out of it? Not quite.
it's a matter of time when you'll get your movies back, when you'll get the desire to watch stuff without that person, and you'll be able to enjoy it. But yeah, it's a slow process, but it's not permanent. That's what I keep reminding myself. A month from now, 3 months from now, it'll be a very different thing.
I think the only lesson here is that what does seem as collateral damage now is actually gonna seem like a good thing that happened later on in the future.
Well, guys, the good news is that collateral damages aren't forever. So, guys, in time, you will be able to listen to your favorite song again and even go to that holiday destination without your ex.